All right, Owosso Speedway, we got Blake Rowe in the driver's seat for this one. Chase Burda riding shotgun. And Blake, you have a lot of success here. Let's go ahead. This is leaving the pits onto the back straightaway of Owosso Speedway. When we come onto this racetrack does two things differently. Qualifies differently and races differently. Let's talk about a hot lap around this place and what the best way, in your opinion, to lay down a good lap at Owosso Speedway looks like. Let's say that we're coming to the green.
Tricks to Owosso Speedway is going to be to run around the bottom right now. The surface is really new. Old Owosso, as everyone likes to call it, was very different. You had to be up in the progressive banking, out in the second or third groove. Right now, the new surface is so fresh, so clean. It's all about running around on the yellow line. Come to the start-finish line here, you're on the hammer hard. And 1 and 2 is a little different than 3 and 4. 1 and 2 settled really big right here on corner entry. So you've got to kind of cut right to the bottom and commit to the yellow line early. Wrap the yellow line really hard, and sometimes you can even run right across these rumble strips here, which isn't quite that aggressive in the race car, but you can definitely feel them. Up off the backstretch, there's kind of two options here. Some guys will run right around the white line, and some guys will get right up here on the flat, which not my preference, but some guys will do it. Like I said, 3 and 4 is a little different than 1 and 2. You can kind of sweep the entry and work on setting a pass up and kind of cross the yellow line late and get a good straight exit up off of turn 4 back to the flag stand. So there's options, and as this racetrack ages, it's going to get a lot wider. Last season was the first season on the new asphalt, so that really lended its hand to running around the bottom. But I think this year they've had to patch the bottom 1 and 2 a little bit. It's settled, it's aged, so I think the top's going to become even more important than it was in the summer.
Any concerns about those patches in 1 and 2? Are those going to be moments where if you try to put the hammer down at the wrong time or the right front, plants on that spot, are those going to be slick spots?
I think they'll probably be a little bit tacky. But honestly, when I seen the patches, I was excited. Not that I want to see the surface fall apart, but I think, the patches are all pretty centralized towards the bottom of 1 and 2, so I think it's just going to make the top work better. If the patch settles a little bit funny or anything like that, that's totally fine and probably even better for the racing, because it's just going to make cars a little bit upset, make drivers work to get through them, whereas the top really only has this one little itty-bitty patch that you could probably just about drive the whole car over, and it may not upset it quite so bad. So I think it's a net gain for the track, more so than anything.
You want to pick us up a little bit and tell us what you're looking for the car to do when you're coming around Owosso Speedway to get a good lap down?
Yeah, the biggest thing right now about this place, the straightaways are so straight, which sounds a little bit, obvious at first, but you get to other racetracks where the straightaways have like an arc shape or anything to them. The straightaways here are as straight as you could ask for, right? So the biggest thing that you're going to look for right away is the ability to turn off the wall. So you're completely unwrapped out of the steering wheel here at the flag stand, and you literally just want the car to cut, right? Sounds simple, but a lot of the times they won't respond. Second biggest thing is going to be that ability to just wrap right around this yellow line and just unwrap the steering wheel and kind of just let go of it on corner exit and get
so
back
you're
up
fading out what feels a little bit late out of the corner, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, really, you want to be able to come off the corner straight, and that way when you're hard on the accelerator pedal and you're not trying to slip the rear tires, like I said, you can just be right out of the steering wheel altogether. I mean,
a really hard diamond.
Yeah, and I'm being a little bit exaggerative here with how low I'm leaving on exit. But, you're definitely not gonna open the hole up here, and like Chase does this to me at lap 199 coming to the checkers at the Stars National Tour race. You better believe I'm taking the bottom on him in entry of 3. He's giving the hole up. He's opened the door up. So you're definitely going to protect the bottom and make somebody work on that left rear quarter panel if they're going to want to get around you on the bottom.
I want to hear about that too as we go back into turn 1. Spotters here at Owosso are going to be important when you're jamming up on the bottom. When you're coming down the front straightaway and your spotter says looking, door, or bumper, quarter, what are your defensive moves that you can do here? And I'm saying late in the race, right? If it's early, you're probably going to move over and let the guy go. Late in the race, trying to protect positions. What are you doing on entry at Owosso Speedway to protect position but not get yourself wrecked?
I mean, speaking for myself here, I'd let Chase speak to this one as well, but the spot mirror is really important when it comes down to moments like that. The spotter is definitely a very important aspect to decisions in those moments, especially late in the race. But a very quick peek to the spot mirror to decide, is it clear with contact, or is it something that you're going to have to charge corner entry to try to defend the spot? But in most cases, you know, if they're just a nose cone at the rear bumper cover, it's going to be a late decision to kind of cross across their nose so that they can advance all the way to your door. And if they're going to want to do something, they're going to have to pick you up.
All right, Blake, what do you think? Let's let the kid drive. Stop at the finish line here and see what Chase Burda thinks about getting around Owosso Speedway.
I want to see his tricks.
All right, Masters of the Pros, defending winner, defending JEGS Tour champion, Chase Burda. Say that we're going on a hot lap around Owosso Speedway. What are you thinking about for your 18 car that you're looking for it to do, and you're looking for responses to put down a good lap?
The first thing for me is just making sure my car can get down to that yellow line and stay there. I feel like just now, I never raced at the Owosso before, but I feel like right now it's just, if you're not on that yellow line, like you're not going to be good, or you're going to be slow. So I think just being able to get it down here on that line and able to hold it all the way off and then get it up to the wall but not wash up, I think that's like your biggest keys of getting a fast lap here.
Tire wear is not going to be a huge deal here at Owosso Speedway, but wear and tear on other things of the race car could be. Are you in the back of your mind in 100, 185, and then the ASA race is a 200 lapper, thinking about brake management, thinking about, you know, pad management, fluid? I mean, are things like that going through your head as well?
Yeah, speaking of the brakes, the Masters race, near the end of that, we definitely had brake fade. So I think going into this year, it's definitely going to be a factor just with how last year went. But I think the tires, like, they'll definitely wear a little bit more, I think. But it's just that, like, with that, it's also just weird going into the race, not worrying about tires as much, just going 100 and whatever laps, just balls to the walls. It's a different kind of racing, but it's just another, like, unique thing about Owosso right now is you can just show up and just go, go, go.
Is there any deception now that the infield has changed, right? I mean, we don't have the wall in yet, but there was a clear distinction of where your groove ended and where the infield began, and there'll be a wall there now. With the grass, probably easier to get down and hug that yellow line. You have experience at Pensacola and places where you got to hug an inside wall. Is that going to be hard to do here?
I think it might be different, or especially for like Blake. He's been here. Just seeing that could be, but I think it's just something you'll just get used to, and as you get used to it, you'll just get better and better.
We come back here 3 times, Chase, with the Masters of the Pros win. Is this going to be a different Owosso Speedway every time we come here? May, August, September? Do you expect it to race differently every time?
I think so, and I just think just because of the new pavement, and it's just going to wear more and more, and I think as just the years come on, this place is just going to get bigger and bigger and bring in more competitors and more fans, so I'm excited, and hopefully they can stay around for it all or keep racing, and then just watch it grow. All
right, guys, May 25th when we get here at Owosso Speedway, and I'll start with you, Chase, because you're behind the wheel. Just kind of an overview. As a fan and as a driver, what do you expect to see here?
I expect to see a lot of fans, and I think we'll have a good car count. I think we'll have a good car count throughout the whole CRA tour, so I'm really excited to come back here, especially after winning the Masters race, so hopefully we can come back here and pick up on where we left.
What about you, Blake?
I would agree with the packed house idea. This place has always got a good steady group of fans, so if it's not a sellout, I'm sure it'll be close. I think the car count's going to be really good. You know, the Big O is the smallest paying of all 3 of the really great paying races, so I think you're probably going to see some out-of-towners come in and prep for Master of the Pros and the Owosso Nationals. And I mean, ultimately, that's fairly early in the JEGS Tour, so people are going to be trying to race aggressively and stretch a little bit of a lead before that summer slump hits for the JEGS Championship title.
All right, guys. Thanks for taking us around Owosso Speedway. Good luck on Saturday, May 25th. Looking forward to it.